Hello there, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to tune in to today's Mood Food Series 1, episode number 5. Can you believe that we are now on episode number 5? But it is because of you, the great listeners out there, that continue to rein in all of your support with the emails, and you're giving us those reviews and the stars on all of the platforms out there. Keep that up. We sincerely appreciate it. We are here for you. And this is why we do it, is because of you. We appreciate you, the listeners out there. I don't make any money off of this. This is something that I just enjoy doing, and I do hope that you are finding it beneficial and helpful out there. And we appreciate that you're downloading us on Apple Podcast and downloading us on TuneIn, Alexa, and Spotify, Google. We are now on iHeartRadio, and we are pending Pandora approval. And then once we get that approval, pretty much we will be on all the platforms out there. We are already broadcasting around the world. Hello to my friend and colleague Megan over there in Japan. Thank you so much for listening. I miss working with you. And everyone out there, just thank you for letting us hear from you. And if you have any show ideas or you just want to say hi, let us know where you're listening from. Send us an email at moodfoodpodcast@gmail.com. And that email address is in every podcast description, just in case you're not able to write it down right now. Please keep reviewing all of the items that I share with you weekly. We upload new podcasts every Wednesday. And make sure that you are utilizing those skills. You'll see yourself make that amazing progress. Be proud of yourself, because when you are going through adverse times, and many of us are right now, the whole world is. It just seems like the whole world's been turned upside down. Use some of these skills that I'm sharing with you. Make it yours. Take ownership of it and make those positive changes for your life. You'll be proud of yourself. And remember, reviewing all of these podcasts is part of your mood, food, diet. And before we get into today's podcast, I just want to take a moment. I had placed this on my Facebook page, but it's very important, and I wanted just to share this with you. And whatever you believe out there, whatever your foundation is, say a prayer for this nation. Say a prayer for the world. We all need it. Viruses eventually get controlled with inoculations. Racism, biases, and assumptions that people make about others are the most dangerous viruses that are really out there. We need to be working on a cure for racism. All of it we need a cure for. And enough talking about developing cures, really. Be the cure. Walk the cure. And I'm not giving up on humanity. All right. I just wanted to share that with everyone today. So today's podcast is called Work-Life Balance, and I think we can all relate to this. This is a big one, and when I really enjoyed researching this one, because the skill sets that I'm going to share with you today, I actually use myself, and I'm very proud of that, because I was going down a road and a path that I did not like, because I didn't have that work-life balance. I was losing all enthusiasm for the type of work that I do. And that's not why I went into this profession. I went into this profession so I can help people. And I realized quickly that I was being consumed by the very job itself. But it was all because I wasn't balancing my work life and my personal life. So I'm going to tell you what worked for me, and give you a few ideas out there that hopefully you can take and adopt for your own situation that will work for you. So whether you are in the military, or you might be working a civilian job, or just working full-time parent work at home, work is work is work. And finding that magical balance between work and life can be very challenging and difficult. Many of us are carrying heavy workloads and managing our marriage and or relationships, and maybe you have kiddos that you're having to watch after during the day. But according to Mental Health America, more than 1 in 4 Americans have reported that they are experiencing major issues balancing the work and home life, and report that the difficulties are making them more stressed out than ever before, stressed out to the max and beyond measure. And I can definitely relate to that report. It is like we are all trying to juggle these chainsaws at full throttle, trying not to drop them, because if we do, we could injure ourselves, someone else, or the actual job tasking at hand. It really is a juggling act, which can be very stressful. Stress can be one of the number one motivation zappers out there. Stress can make us less productive in the work environment and in the home environment. It can burn us out. It can make us crusty. And I was called crusty once. And you know what? I didn't like it. And I didn't like it because I knew it was true. And so I had to reach deep down inside and find my inner self once again and tell myself, you're not going to turn into this person that you just heard that description for as being crusty. You're not going to turn into that person. And I really started to turn around because I did not want to become who I was becoming because of work stressors. That was a wake-up call for me because I was really irritable, negative, jaded. I was anxious. It was interfering with my sleeping patterns. My blood pressure was up. I mean, I was stressed out to the max. And some people even endorse having depression symptoms, feelings of hopelessness, and it can sour relationships with your coworkers. But most importantly, I want you to remember that it can negatively impact the more lasting relationships and the most important relationships that you have in your life. And that's the relationship that you have with your spouse, your kids, or loved ones that are in your home environment. So if you continue to experience these difficulties finding that work-life balance, the stress can cause immune system issues, it can weaken it, and can definitely cause major health problems. Many will stress eat, and stress eating is definitely negatively impactful on your overall well-being. So why is it so difficult for us to really have and adopt something that's going to work for us as far as balancing work and personal life? Well, Forbes magazine, along with the Mental Health America, reported that the work environment is key, and the lack of leadership and the managerial support can make employees work themselves and to the point of exhaustion due to maybe some micromanaging practices, unrealistic expectations, and unrealistic deadlines, or management might be so detached from what the mission really is of the organization that all they care about are numbers. And so that can really create a lot of anxiety and insecurity in the employees if they don't feel supported in that respect, in that regard. A negative work environment where you are made to feel that you're not valued can feed that insecurity, can feed that fear. And working in a supportive environment now reassures the employees that they are valued, appreciated, and that you'll feel more overall job satisfaction. And you're more than willing to go over and beyond for the company because you feel like you are valued and appreciated. So how many of you out there are currently working in an environment that is either supportive or not? And if you are working in a supportive environment, but you're still kind of having some of these issues and these symptoms that I mentioned earlier, I'm going to tell you what worked for me, and hopefully it will also work for you. So I'm hoping that you'll take note and make these part of your daily routine. So number one is set some realistic goals for each day and listen to some motivating music if you can. Prioritize, use one book to make list in, and if you find that you are getting overwhelmed, ask for help. Please ask for help. It's okay. We are not robots. We are not machines, and you are going to become overwhelmed. So I just ask for you to respectfully say, hey, I am sufficiently obligated right now, and I don't have any more room on my plate, so can you please ask someone else to take this on? And if you're a one-man shop or one-woman shop and you have these duties, it's okay to say, hey, I'm prioritizing things right now, and this is on my list, and you're tracking it, but there's other things that have to be completed before you can get to that point to take care of something that maybe someone added in on your plate. It's okay too, honestly, to say no respectfully sometimes. Okay, so number two is try to work efficiently. Prioritize, go back over the list you made in the one book, and you might be pulled in many different directions, so communicate what priorities you have to the powers that be, and that way everyone's on the same page, they know what you're working on, and hopefully it'll keep you on task. So I try to plan out my day, but I also add in some wiggle room because, life's not perfect, situations happen, we can get pulled in a million different directions. So if something doesn't go as planned, it's not going to have that emotional impact on me as it once did. So I have that wiggle room in there, and that I'm very thankful for that I started doing that. And also, if you are staring at that computer screen and you keep reading that line 4 and 5 times over and over again and your eyes start to cross, get up out of that chair and go outside, take about a 5-minute break, walk around the building, get some fresh air. You'll feel really revived, and when you come back in, and hopefully you won't be reading that same sentence over and over again. You'll make some progress. And then if you're working these long hours in an organization and you're keeping track, make sure your management's keeping track as well. This is number 3. Ask for that time back. And if you are working long days, ask for the comp time to be on a day that you know you're going to be able to maximize that experience with your family and recharge. Use that time, but just make sure your management's tracking. That way it makes it easier to ask for the request. And then also most times it'll be granted based off of need. And that way you can spend that quality time with your family. Now we're going to move into a very, very interesting topic where I think all of us can relate to that too, is that how do we turn it off when we get home? How do we keep from thinking about work when we get home? And a lot of you may be working from home right now, so that makes it even more difficult. But if you try these steps I'm going to tell you right now, hopefully you will find them very beneficial. You can set some boundaries in your own life between work and home, and then hopefully it'll be helpful to you. Number 1 is don't overcommit. So say you're working from home and or you work away from home and somebody wants to do something on the weekend. Right now there's some physical restrictions going on, so it may not possibly happen that way. Or someone may just want you to rip and run all weekend long and you've worked all week and you're darn tired. You don't want to do it. It's okay not to overcommit. It's okay for you to say, nope, I just need to stay home, relax, and unplug. But if you do, please make sure that you stay off of those electronic devices that you associate with work. And that could be laptops, cell phones, whatever. Make sure you set limits and stay off of them. Also, if you are on them, try not to check your work emails or do any work-related items while at home. If you're working from home, I completely understand, but at least open that stuff up, start working on it during your regular work hours, not whenever you're not during your designated work hours, okay? And let's move on to number 2. Make your priorities at home. Keep them prioritized, and that means your family, okay? That means at family activities, being involved with them. You may have chores to do. Why don't you do it as a family? Or number 3, we'll stay active, exercise, do family hikes, bike rides, trips, do something memorable with your family. Number 4 is realize what you can control and what you can't control, and that is a big one, right? I am a control freak, and I have to admit that because that helps me work on it even more because I hate saying that. But if you find yourself thinking about work, even while at home, stay engaged with your family, communicate that. Talk it through. Also, remember your work will always be there, everyone. It will always be there, no matter what your occupation is, unless the world ends or something, your work will always be there. And so be confident in your job that you do, in the job that you do. But most importantly, invest in what is lasting. And you know what that is? That's your family. That's your friends. That's your pets. You don't want to be someone that gets to that mark where you're eligible to retire from whatever organization that you work for, and you're standing there alone. That's not the end goal that you want. You want to bring your family with you to celebrate those successes, but you have to find that magical balance that's going to work for you so that they will be with you when you reach that huge milestone of retirement. You don't want to be standing there by yourself, left there just to enjoy your retirement alone. So just try these suggestions. That way, hopefully you will benefit from them. It's going to be something that's really you're going to have to curtail to yourself and work to, and fit to your own work. We're all unique, and we all work different jobs. We all have different home life environments. Make it work for you, and just make sure that you are always committed there to your family, your friends, and your pets. So I hope that you try these suggestions I shared today. You will probably find that when you achieve that magical work-life balance, you'll feel a lot better about the job that you do. You can tell others what you did because they'll want to know what changed, and have patience with yourself. You will see how much happier you should be and will be, and hopefully you will be, and more productive you are going to be in the work environment. And hopefully your overall job satisfaction will also increase. And so remember to keep using these tools to thrive. There'll be situations when it won't be easy, but I know you can do it, and I know you'll make it happen for yourself. It's baby steps, right? Continue those small steps to success. Set those small goals, make them daily goals, and it'll work. You just have to put the work into it. You'll see the returns. And once you've seen that change, celebrate it, continue to build off of it, tell someone about it, and you'll be happy. All right, that's going to do it for today's podcast. I really thank everyone so much for taking time to join us for today's broadcast of Mood Food. Please make sure that you subscribe, that you continue to rate us, you like us, you recommend us to all of your family and friends. We appreciate that so much. And remember the disclaimer, because I'm always going to stick to that. And keep your mood full of positive mental food. And make sure you tune in next week. We're going to be talking about motivation. And right now, it seems like that you may feel deflated. You may not feel like life is just going in the right direction for yourself. I'm going to give you some tips to kind of hope, give you that energy that will instill some hope in you, that you will be able to pull yourself out of that, and you'll feel more motivated and more goal-oriented, okay? So thank you so much for taking time to tune in today. If you have some program suggestions, please hit us up at moodfoodpodcast@gmail.com. That's moodfoodpodcast@gmail.com. Please be careful, everyone out there. Let us hear from you. We appreciate you so much. Be safe. And until next Wednesday, we'll talk to you soon.